Give me 3 more seconds down. We're going live on Instagram. All right, and we live on Instagram. All right, how you doing today, Don?
I'm doing great, sir. Happy Wednesday to you.
Happy Wednesday to you. Well, it's another day for the data from the real.
Hmm.
And I think today, Don, one of the things that was brought up to us in the chat recommendations in the group was we was talking about dating in your 40s.
Yes.
You know, I'm currently in a relationship, so but I have dated in my 40s. And Don, I'm pretty sure you have dated in your 40s, probably.
Yes, in my
You
early
know,
40s, younger days.
and in your younger days, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
don't tell yourself.
No, not at
So,
all.
but what we decided to do this time is we're going to bring a guest, and she's currently dating in her 40s. She's
Hmm.
a yeah, she's a young lady who I met I want to say last year sometime, and I was quite impressed with her outlooks on things, and it was and her some of her unique outlooks and perspectives on things. And this is how we. And I just want to say, hey, let's bring her on and let's talk about it. And
Indeed.
and
Let's get
so,
the female perspective dating in the 40s and let's get some enlightenment into this male driven world. Perhaps maybe we can change our perspective on a couple of things.
all right, let's do it.
Let's
Let's
do it.
bring her on in. Oh, well, hello,
Right.
and to introduce yourself to everybody, I want them to say your name correctly.
Oh my goodness. Now my
Come on
goodness.
now, you spell it. Come on, you know. I'm part amazing, part asshole. Come on.
Okay. All right. All right. My name is Andrea. What else would you like to know?
So Andrea, so let's talk a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
Currently, I want everybody to tell everybody your relationship status at this moment.
Single.
Single, and that which is the topic. And, we're not gonna put your age out there because I was always taught that was impolite for about a woman's in her age.
What's in the
But
title?
I'd
I
say
guess
in 40, that's a decade. That's a decade.
okay,
You know,
fine. Okay.
There is not a direct number
I know.
yeah.
pinpoint there.
I'm just messing
Yeah.
with
So
I'm just
So
messing with Marcus.
yeah, and we want to get your perspective on dating in your 40s and how things are going and how have you seeing things now, and also how you approach them. Because at Data from the Real, we talk about dating, affirming it, and keeping it real. And we like to keep everything positive,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the most important thing. And that's what another thing that kind of led me to asking you to be on was you had a positive outlook on dating and how to go about it and just being well rounded when doing this.
Okay.
And
Um,
so,
where would you like me to start? Would you like me to kind of freestyle tie it all together? Would you um
so, let me help you out because since we are the host, I'm kind of I do too much freestyling this as it is.
it's a broad subject. So
It really is. Real quick, where are you located at so everybody know just in case you
oh, I'm in
might find your
Arizona.
male suitor in your
okay.
Arizona in the Phoenix area, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, in that hot weather.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's not as hot as it's gonna get, but yeah, it's usually pretty warm.
Yeah, And so real also one of the things is to kind of get a background. How long have you been single?
Oh boy. Um so I was married once before and
Been there before.
officially, yeah, I was married before in the past, but so single as far as like being out of that marriage, wow, long time, like 10 plus years. But then I've actually dated, I've been involved, I guess you could say. I've tried it out. I've tested the waters.
Okay, you swimming through some of those muddy pools there, just trying to find the right one.
Fortunately for me, I have not been in the swamp. I have
Okay,
not. I
okay,
have not swam up that stream. I've been I've been in pretty clean, safe waters, I would think.
that's good. That's a good way to
Yeah,
put it.
So would you say? So you're not saying there's not a pee in the pool in this dating world?
I didn't see any of that blue ink, so I don't know. I don't know. I would say I've seen quite a few differences. A few different flavors. I wouldn't say tainted, just
Hmm.
different flavors and styles.
And would you base that upon your selection that you're choosing to date? That
I would
causes.
say, yeah, I would say selection, outlook, because I
Hmm.
could look at those situations a lot different,
Yeah,
and maybe some others would. I don't think just because it doesn't work means that it was all bad.
I get you. I got
Yeah,
you.
That's what see, and that's the thought. That's one of the things that I liked about you. You wasn't quick to go. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. You had to look at the positive side. There was both sides of each of the coin.
hmm
You know, one of the things that I wanted to, as Don and I was going back and forth a little bit, was questions about comparisons of like dating now, as in your 20s and your 30s. You know, and like, and the one thing Don brought up was like the important lessons that you learned from those days. So back in those past relationships.
this is true. This is true. I was married most of my 20s, but I do know what the dating pool looked like. I had a lot of single friends. He had single friends. I have sisters that are younger than me, so I'm still pretty familiar with what was going on, and it is very different.
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of things that affect that, though.
Would it
Such
be?
as
Different. Well, we've moved into different generations.
Hmm.
The world is advancing, technology, the expectations, politics, the economy, like all the things that affect a relationship. They've all kind of evolved into um, not flowers, probably weeds, I would say. And I still have a positive outlook. I still have a positive outlook. But what I'm saying is people are growing in random places and they're searching in the wrong fields. And
Hmm.
so just a whole bunch of random people trying to get together for the wrong reasons. So
That's a good perspective on that. I know dandelions also is a weed, even though it looks good on the outside. You mentioned that the world has evolved and changed, which is causing dating, the aspects of dating to also change with it. With that being said, with modern dating as of now, does is it heavily influenced by what is seen in social media activity, or is it heavily
mm,
influenced by someone's surrounding community, such as a particular area that you may live in, or your friends per se?
well, I mean, if you look at what we're doing now, this wasn't going down back in our,
Hmm.
prime
Yeah.
years, right?
Yes.
So I think that, like, just the fact that a person will come and ask for your contact information,
Hmm.
you're likely going to get an Instagram handle versus
Yeah.
a phone number
at
Yeah.
at 40 something.
in general.
In general.
In general. And yes, it's more,
Wow.
you see it a lot more like in the younger 20s and 30s, but yes, it's a thing now. And even if they get your phone number, they still want to know your social media because that's their way of, like, people really believe they can verify things about your life just looking at your page. They really do.
They're getting a assumption or a perception, preconceived notion before even getting to know the person. And
Mhm.
I found that when it comes to dating, people, not even just dating, just meeting people in general, social media handles or exchange, what's your Facebook, what's your IG, but even in the aspect of the business world, when you're speaking with colleagues or you're even trying to influence a business contact, people also exchange handles, whether it be LinkedIn or some other business associated site. So it's almost like it goes hand in hand as the new norm. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I don't have Instagram anymore.
Mm,
Don't have Facebook anymore.
way to
I do
go.
have LinkedIn.
Yes.
Um, and I have a Snapchat. But
Okay.
it started out as me trying to find this place where people get these funny filters. Like I
Yes.
started seeing it and messing around with it with my nieces a long time ago, and I was
Hmm.
like, oh man, this is cool. So then after that, I realized, oh, this is actually kind of like a form of social networking. Actually, I have a cousin who it was actually my cousin that introduced me to it like years ago. She lives here as well,
Hmm.
and I just thought it was pretty cool. LinkedIn, I've always had that,
Yes.
but the Instagram and the Facebook, I'm not against it, but again, I come from a different time,
Of course.
and I was around, I was still kind of young when it got started, when it became like a big thing, but
Hmm.
I was married at that
Yes.
time already. So I'm not against it. I'm not against the social media thing, only because I am wise enough to understand what it is and what's going on. But I think it could be dangerous for people who really don't have that understanding of how dangerous it could be.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah,
There's a lot of information that can get exchanged that people can find out about you if they have some nefarious type of activities in mind, or even in aspects of a woman dating a guy can pretty much stalk you before he even gets to know you, and that in itself can be scary at times as
that's
well.
true. That's true. I've never been stalked, thankfully. Um, yeah. I think also there's a lot of very vulnerable minds like watching.
Hmm.
I think some 20-year-olds are still kind of vulnerable, when they look at the internet versus television now.
Yes.
So we've replaced even watching TV shows. Like our images were scripted, calculated
Hmm.
before. Cosby's, even like Martin and Fresh Prince, there were
Hmm.
messages. It was more controlled. Now you have like I think some of the I guess you call it reality TV.
Hmm.
It's scripted, but it's scripted with a different purpose. It's intended for drama. It's
Yes.
Right.
intended, yeah, and it's supposed to be. So there's a lot of programming. It's actually supposed to look like this is the current state of who we are today. Like look at the Love and Hip Hop,
Hmm.
type that I don't think that's a good representation for
Not at all.
black women in particular, and that's predominantly who um, I guess frequents those shows, watches those shows, and are cast members of those shows.
Mm.
I don't think that should be the the perception, I guess, of what black women really are.
So
I think
true.
there's many more positive images that you could look at.
And I think those that are in power to push these shows on the masses see the monetizing of someone's pain and trauma, and then using that as a vehicle to garner views from the masses, which in turn fattens their pocket, which in turn gives them more ratings. So even with that being said, what is your approach to what do you think is the most appealing way for a man to attempt to get to know you in aspects of dating, or just even to just communicate with you on a dating level, or just wanting to get to know you on a personal level?
Well, That's the thing. I believe in like organics for the most part. So
Hmm.
like I have met people like just shopping at the grocery store, and I'm like in line, and we just spark up a conversation about how long the lines are. Or
Yes.
why isn't there more lanes open? Why do we have to go to, self checkout? And then you just talk, or I can be in Home Depot buying light bulbs or something, or I could be at the gym or wherever.
Hmm.
So I don't, I guess social media would probably be the last place,
Yeah.
honestly, because I'm not present.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, so it sounds like you're being like when you're out, you're open. You're willing to be approached.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh, you know,
yeah.
because basically, one of the things I was curious about, um, how do men holler at women these days? Do they go with the lines, or they go like this whole "how you doing," or like "ciao bella baby"? You know what I'm saying? What's
which
Where you get that from? You watching some
which
TV,
flavor
Marcus?
which flavor would you like? Because
the
which flavor would you like?
yeah,
Because there
because
are, this is, I could go Baskin Robbins with this one. There are
Wow.
lots of different, I have been approached by, oh my goodness. It's when it's like the younger guys that don't really know my age. And I have to, like, I'm looking at this, I don't want to call him a kid because that's disrespectful, especially if they're, adults. But then I have to look at this young man and think, like, I have a son in college your age. That doesn't mean that I'm not saying that I would just be closed off to it, but there is, I guess I look at probability,
Hmm.
right? Because how probable is it that we're going to have a whole lot in common? And I could tell a lot by the way you approach me, like how probable it is, like just the way you approach me, the way that you let me know that you're
Mannerisms.
interested. Like I like when a person is interested, but it's more subtle, you know.
Yes.
And that,
Yes.
hmm,
I mean, I think subtlety can take you a long way with a woman like me, just because, okay, so say for example, I'm in a store, you don't always know what a person's status is, and I feel like it does, I think it gives a little bit of, I give a little bit of grace to a man who at least gives the opportunity to find out first if I'm
Yes.
involved with someone. Now, I
Yes.
mean, you can ask me, and you can just come right out and say, hey, you have a man? Okay, I know that you're interested, but then you're kind of like, let me get right to it. Do you want to know anything about me at all? Or do you just, and I get that men are visual. Trust me, I had to get over that years ago. Like, I used to always say, I don't want to be approached by a man just because of my looks. But then I had to really realize, like, okay, this is a real thing for you guys. Like, I have been in stores or out in public, and after I've watched guys that literally just cannot help but to, you know what I mean? You know where I'm going with this. They're walking,
Yes.
minding their own business, and I
Yes.
mean, cannot help but to take a glance.
yeah,
I'm not saying just at me. I'm saying in general, like they see a
Yes.
woman that they deem to be
yeah,
beautiful, and it's like, whether they say something or not, it's automatic, not even a second thought. And that really,
yeah.
and then I have a father, I have an uncle who's like a mentor to me. Um, I work around nothing but men.
Hmm.
So, and that hasn't been my history and just working around men, but just like I love men and I have respect for men. So I'm always trying to see the brighter side of it.
Yeah.
If I, even when there's I can take a humble approach to it and just say, okay, let me give it a chance. Because sometimes guys, our communication styles are, the way we attract to one another, the way we feel like we have to approach one another, it's going to be very different. Like for me, I'm
Okay.
If you know us women, we know how to get your attention if we want to, honestly. Like
Of
if we
course.
see you and we like you, whether we say it or not, or we like how you look, or maybe that, like for me, it's usually when I overhear a man talking.
Hmm.
I'm not just
Hmm.
like looking at just at your looks, but like if I hear just the way you speak to the cashier or something, or just a certain way that you move and you operate, that's usually where, because that person is not even aware that you're paying attention, or they may be, but if it comes off as natural, then I'm like, okay, I'm listening,
Yes.
even though you're not talking to me, I'm listening.
So it's it's
So,
it's it's
oh,
the demeanor of the person. If a person has charisma and has charm and speaks in an elegant voice and is polite, that would be more attractive to you than some youngster just trying to see how many contacts he can get in a day. Um, that may be more of a turnoff.
I mean, I don't want to put the all of the youngsters in a category. I've met youngsters where I was like, okay, it's a little hard to say no, but it's more like a soft no, not a hard no.
Okay,
But because you got some younger guys that they want older women because they don't feel like they fit in their generation, just like me. I
so
mean, for
true.
most of the women my age, most of the ones I know at least,
Yes.
and what you can see on the internet, we kind of have a
mm,
different we have a different perspective on
Hmm.
dating and how we want to be approached and how we want to be treated, values, and that's the biggest thing for me is just values. Like that's what I look at, values.
okay. So it's actually funny because I just heard a word or a term just this last week of the word sigma male. Are you familiar with that term?
I've seen it. I'm not very familiar with what it is. I don't know if that's one of those things where it's, your perspective of what the word means, or is there an actual meaning, like an
Hmm.
So let me see.
agreed meaning?
So let me see if I can bring up definition. Is
Yeah, I see it. I mean, well, it's kind of far away, but
yeah. Technology. It's an internet slang term. Describes a man who is introverted, self-reliant, and non-conformist. Sigma males are often described as being charismatic, honorable, and magnetic, and and are seen as unafraid to take risks and make decisions. And then we had, and as opposed to the alpha male, which is
oh
the
boy.
hold on, hold on. If I get my technology back right, and it's still far away, it says a man who is considered to be the most successful and powerful in the group, and it just went away on me. Hold on. Powerful in the group, alpha males are often described as bold, confident, and demanding, and are said to be get things done.
I'll take a 50-50. I'll take both.
Okay.
you
Yeah,
want?
I
Oh, so you
think
want?
I think I think alpha males get a bad rep because it's like, just the word alpha. You think the alpha and the omega. Like you think that they must be very intense, but I don't know. I think you could look at it a different way. It doesn't have to be, so strong. Like I think when some like, you have some women that'll say, I'm an alpha female. Then here comes the argument that doesn't exist. But as far back to an alpha male though, I think the way I look at an alpha male and the positive light that I would like to look at it is that it is a person who is confident, maybe a little unwavering, um, very responsible, more like a leader, kind of is already kind of mature and knows what they want, and maybe just not as much about. And I would see an alpha male being more introverted.
Really?
That's
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I'm saying I remember I said in the positive light that I would
Okay.
like to try to
Okay.
look at it, because you don't have to be like bold and everything out loud, bright colors, sirens. It doesn't have to be like that. Doesn't have to be like that.
Okay.
Again, I think it's a perception thing because I mean, I don't know. Is there like an official definition for that word, or is it more like
Yeah,
is that something you get from an Urban Dictionary?
It's
you
more of a
you know.
urban
Go ahead, Don.
dictionary. It's more of an urban dictionary, maybe more of a
Okay.
myth, based on one person's perspective of what they've seen, or what they may have experienced. If you line 10 people up in a row, you know, three may have that characteristics, three may not, three may be sigmas, other four may be introverts, and some other intellectual type being. So it's definitely based on a person's perception of a personality that they may see.
So is Sigma, is that deemed to be the opposite of Alpha, or is it just like a different flavor
What
type thing?
the way I interpret it is more like a different flavor. It's more like like I would call more of the masculine the type. You know, just I'm very just chill. I don't have to be seen, but I still take care of we still take care of business. Still gonna take care of the household, lead everything. But I don't need to be the one in the room that gets the attention. I can be in the background and still handle business. That's what I interpret it as.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's a Sigma male, then that's exactly what I would be attracted to.
Okay.
But I felt I really think that an alpha male could be that as well.
Can be. It definitely can be. Alpha males usually, in my understanding of them, is they are that and then some. So you're actually turning the knob up past 10 and 11, 12, and there you goes your alpha male. He's definitely going
Well,
Yeah.
to be the
if
one.
that's the agreed, let's just go by the community. If that's the agreed, if that's the final and the agreed perception that we have of an alpha male, then that probably would be less of my type. I'm not the attention seeker.
Mm, okay.
I don't
So
care much for that.
let me. So you have girlfriends, you know. So what would you think? What would be there? Would they be more of the alpha or the sigma in your opinion?
Okay, tricky question because I do think you have to. Well, because it all just depends on how they like if they're understanding of what those two different types of males, if they know what that actually means. Let's just go by what you've described, right? Um,
Okay.
I think that a lot of women that I know would say that they want the Sigma male, but on the inside would still want the alpha.
Hmm.
I know a
Hmm.
lot of times women they'll go ahead and choose what they think is best for them, and then it doesn't work out because a lot of times we don't really know how to match people with that personality. Like a woman would go and say, "I want a Sigma male because I know he's kind of safe."
Hmm.
But I still want, you to accept me going out and doing things and commanding a certain amount of attention. But if he's not a person that commands attention and men are already protective, right? He wouldn't be
Yes.
okay with that.
Yes.
But an alpha male is like, he might, based on the way our agreed definition of what it is, he might want his girl to be the baddie, the one that everybody looks at, because then he's got notches for that.
You got bragging rights.
Yeah, and so you
Mm.
got some women that want to be known as that. They want to be the baddest one in the room. Me, I just want to be appropriate for the occasion. I don't have to be
Okay.
the best dressed in the room. So
Hmm.
when a woman chooses a man, a lot of times she just kind of mirrors certain characteristics,
Yeah.
instead of realizing. I mean, sometimes we need just the opposite of what we are.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need that.
Opposites do attract. You mentioned that you like to go out and meet men at grocery stores, or something of that nature. When you do those activities to try to find a potential match, do you put on your flyest gear, get your hair done, or you just go as with the flow of the wind, and let a man accept you as you are?
Well, one thing that I don't. Okay. Hmm. How do I answer that? Because I don't go out, like, I'll put it this way, I don't go out with the intent of meeting someone.
Okay.
So, okay, say for instance, now, I literally just got home, I think maybe like 5 minutes before I joined, or 10, no,
Hmm.
I'll say about 10, 15 minutes, maybe, not 5 minutes.
Yes.
And so I looked quite different when I walked in the door, but I knew I was going to be on camera, and I'm not, one of those women that are going to say, yeah, I just woke up like this. No, I took a few minutes to try to get it together, but I mean, you may see me like this.
Hmm.
You will probably more than likely see me with my hair pulled back because it's required for what I do.
Yes.
Um, and so on my off days, it just depends on what I'm doing. If I'm going out to the grocery store, I don't go out to the store in bonnets. I'm not, and here's no judgment. I'm just saying I am not going to be your bonnet girl. I'm not going to wear pajamas that I wear in my bed outside. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, I am. Now here's one thing. When because I used to work out a whole lot, and most people that know me know that. You will probably see me in athletic gear more than anything at some point. Now, that's not how things are now because I'm working a lot, but
Hmm.
and when I'm comfortable, I might just have on a dress or a skirt or, jeans, or it just depends on what I'm doing that day.
Yes.
So I don't
Okay.
I don't have a particular attire that I choose to go out because I'm not going out looking for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you just presenting yourself authentically as you. You
Yeah.
know, if you gonna choose us, if you choose to approach me, this is who I am. You know, a couple of things before we get any farther. A couple of comments that came across some time ago. One
Okay.
of them says, "Not bashing is a sign of healing for sure." I'm gonna assume I don't have my Facebook up. I'm gonna assume that was Babe. That's my baby. I'm assuming that she put that one there. So
Yes. Yes. I can see
okay,
that.
good.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Cause I ain't want to be Floyd. Like, oh shit.
That pertains to the
I
earlier
actually just
conversation.
saw
But
I actually just saw on TikTok. I don't know who the other lady is, but I know what your wife looks like, just from y'all page. I just saw a couple of reels of them on TikTok. I saw a few things like because I don't like post to TikTok, but you can like look at like people send you TikToks, you can follow
links.
them from
Yes.
YouTube. And of course I follow your page because you told me about it. So yeah, I saw that. I don't know when they were on, but I just saw her and I was like, okay, cool message.
Yeah, yeah. That's my baby. I get more messages than anybody, so that's the benefit. Now, the disadvantage is her because sometimes I forget one or two, and I'll be like, oops, because my retention span is a little bit short. But I learned most of them. But
And thank you to whoever that was. If it was your baby, thank you. If
yeah,
not, thank you to whoever because I definitely agree. And I
yeah,
mean, don't get me wrong, I still got work to do. I think we're gonna be working until the day we die. Yeah. I mean, socially and you know, economically.
really, you're. We ain't trying to do economically, but we'll say socially though. So
Well, I
we
mean,
ain't
as
gonna put
far as
that.
I'm concerned, the retirement age keeps climbing, and
We ain't gonna put that mojo in there.
I'm not trying to turn it political, but I'm saying like in a literal way, like
Oh no,
many
I ain't
people
trying to
are
turn
working
political.
until they die.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put that mojo in my bank account to be better. Shit.
Definitely gonna have
Right.
to keep working if you're trying to do that. So, in reference to what we're discussing here, we talked about you work out and maintain. How do you maintain a healthy work life balance and attempting to also enjoy life and the aspects of dating?
Um, well, when you say enjoy life,
Like, do you take yourself on vacations, or do you wait for a man to take you on vacation? Do you go out and enjoy movies by yourself, or is that something you would rather do as a date night?
I have enjoyed lots of activities by myself. Like I've gone skating by myself, I've gone to the movies by myself, I've gone hiking by myself, I bike by myself, I work out by myself. I do a lot of things by myself, so I'm pretty comfortable with that.
Okay.
Um, but I guess like I do find happiness in being comfortable
Hmm.
and doing whatever it takes for me to be comfortable. So I don't vacation a lot. Um, I do go back and forth to my home state sometimes. Um, and I'm terrified of flying, even though I have to fly. I don't really like to fly. I do
Yeah.
it, but I don't like to. So that plays a role in vacationing. Um, and again, like I don't know. That's one of those topics that are very unpopular when I speak on them because like I could do vacations right here where I'm at. Like just
Okay.
being free from work, being free from like all of the normal responsibilities that I have.
Hmm.
For me, that's a vacation. Because like I, so for instance, I see people go on vacations all the time. The whole vacation is posting pictures and showing everybody else where you've been, right? Like a real vacation for me,
Yes.
like a real vacation for me is, especially if I'm with someone else, I'm gonna try to be tuned in
Yeah.
as much as I can. I don't want to have to worry about work or
Hmm.
kids, or not that I'm not going to be concerned about these people or those responsibilities at all, but I would like to have like a real break from it where I'm not concerned about what's going on when I get back. I don't have
Yes.
to, keep calling and checking and wondering what's happening. Like a real vacation for me is when I've gotten a lot of stuff accomplished and I'm able to just kind of kick back and
Yeah.
coast a little bit. Doesn't have to be, I don't have to go to Turks and Caicos and I don't get me wrong, I want to go to these places, but the destination doesn't make it a vacation. I guess is
Yes.
my
And you don't have to worry about all those social media likes to your postings that exp- people that expect when they put some on there.
Yeah, because
It's
she ain't got
okay.
none.
It's okay. But here's the thing though. It's okay to post. I don't have a problem with that part. But I am very careful about what's being posted.
Yes.
Like some
As
people
you
post things
should.
that are a little more intimate than necessary.
Indeed.
Um, and then when you open that door and then people give you their opinion, because it's just assumed that I like this picture, I like what I'm doing, everyone else is gonna like it until that stand comes into the comments, right? And
Yes.
then you realize people have a difference of opinion. They may not like what you posted.
Yeah.
They may very well just be someone that's upset that you're on vacation and they're not. Then you get wrapped up into that.
Yeah. You got a
So
many page argument on social media.
yeah, yeah. But I don't mind it. It's just that when the whole time it's all about pictures and videos, and it's fine to do that as you're going, as you're just coasting along on your vacation, but just it's like if we spend 30 minutes for you to get the perfect picture over here by the water, it's like
Yeah.
you
That's gonna
want
be
it
a
to
problem.
look like something it's really not at this point.
You
Indeed.
trying to have a whole photography career. I'm yeah.
Nothing wrong with getting nice pictures. Us women, I don't want you putting no bad pictures of me. See, here's the other thing about men when they look at women on the internet. A lot of times, what I see is a very popular opinion. I see a
Let's
lot of
talk
men
about it.
judging. They judge a lot of women about wanting to have the perfect picture. But my thing is, realistically, who's really going to put up something that's going to be shameful or embarrassing? Like, who's going to really post that?
True.
So even when, women say, "Oh, I woke up like this, natural," As a woman, I can look and I'm like, okay, natural, but you still got like eyeliner on. Like there's it's not much, but you still got something on.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, but guys will be like, and it's like you kind of confusing for women because you like looking at it.
Yeah. Well, there's a difference between and looking and wanting to or accepting. You know, we can look at a lot of men. We can look at these Instagram models or this and that. But when you're looking for a genuine connection, they probably will make the cut.
That's what
You
you
know,
know. That's what you know as the man. I hadn't got
is
there
that
yet. But the
ah
women don't understand
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So they think they're giving you what they want. Here's where we start having a confliction because they think they're giving you what you want because you like it, or you might even like the picture, or you might even give them a comment. It's like, oh man, I really like looking at this. It's like TV, but I don't really want you. Like, I just like looking at it. Just like you like watching things on TV that are not really a part of your life. You like looking at it. But the
yeah
woman thinks, oh man, the more men, like, just imagine a woman, she's posted on Instagram and she's got on a revealing outfit, whether it's like a swimsuit or not. Because I do think swimwear is what it is, you know. Now, if you're standing in your bedroom,
yeah
you know, like I mean, I don't know. I'm not even gonna go there, but I'm just saying,
yeah
like, if you get
We
a
get. I get the
thousand
point.
likes,
Yes.
thousand likes,
yeah.
a thousand comments, and and a few of those are guys you are already looking at, right? That you like. It confuses women. Now, me, I may be able to look past that because before I even post that picture, I am already aware of what you're saying.
Mm.
But most women that actually do post that, they're not doing it because they think you don't like it. They're doing it
Mm,
because they really believe that and the values are twisted. I understand that, but they really, really believe that you guys like that and that they'll catch a good man. And this is the part that's conflicting. I'm gonna catch a good man, even though it's already been said that good men don't really want their women being revealing, but I could catch them this way and then convert, you know, or at least make him think I can
I can.
convert.
I can change.
Yeah, like if I
okay.
could just if I can just it's like an attention grabber. If I could just get you to look at me, you know, and get and have some kind of an interest. If I can just get you to do that,
Hmm.
then
Mm,
I can kind of find other ways to make you. That's kind of it's kind of like a marketing.
okay. So it
Yeah.
didn't. So it's kind of that's kind of cool because you know so I'm actually put it this way: you give them a hint or give them some kind of technique to let them know, hey, I'm interested. Are you? Is that the way you saying? Okay, the ball's in your court. Now do your thing. Is that what you're saying?
No, I think it's saying there's a million girls on Instagram, and I'm just trying to get your attention real quick, and then we can talk about the rest later. I
Wow.
mean, if I can be honest, if you look at some of the stunts that are being pulled, like I mean, I'm amazed. I'm like, how far can you go? It's obvious that it's for attention. What other reason
Yes,
could there be?
it is. It's tension sinking, and hopes that a man fly him out to Dubai or something like that.
Yeah, you can fly them out to Dubai, but how many men have the ability to say, "Hey, let's go to fly to Dubai"? The list is kind of short.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yes, there's more thirst than there is water.
Yeah,
Indeed, it
I
is.
like that.
Indeed, it is. Good
I
point,
like
Mark.
that.
Good point.
Okay, I
Yeah.
like that. That's true. That's true. But that's all I mean by women who like there's a confliction. I'm not saying that there's a logical reason for it. It's just that this is really what they believe because like I don't know. I just can't see how a woman would post herself thinking, and as provocative as some of the, outfits or some of the poses, some of the environments are.
Hmm.
Like if you post yourself and you're on a poll, I think it's very appropriate if you're taking a class and you're appropriate because you're in a class versus saying, all right, I just hit up Magic City and I just want to, and I'm not, this is without judgment. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to make a point that there are some pictures that are appropriate, but then it also tells men what type of environments you frequent. So even if the picture is appropriate, they
Yes.
still might understand. This is like, oh, okay, that's what you do. Well, I
Well,
might have some. I might have some colleagues that will look at me differently for having a wife like that. When you
well,
climb so
if
high
that's
up,
the
it does matter.
Yes.
yeah, it does. And so if that's the environment they frequent, well, be proud of the environment you frequent. Be hey, if you want to be in in environment, that's hey, like you said, no judgment. You know,
100% agree. Like just own it, but don't switch it up. Because and I mean I know people like that. I know women like that
Mhm.
that will know they live a certain way, but then when they get questioned by guys that just kind of want to get to know a little bit more about you, the answers are not authentic. Like, yeah. Like
Mm.
sometimes just like men say what they got to say for a woman to show some interest or to get the attention of a certain type of woman, they know what to say. That's why I hear people say all the time, well, you know I'm gonna well, I gotta be careful with what I say, but okay, so like say for a man, you got some men that'll be like, I want like the woman that stays at home. I want the woman who cooks and cleans and stays at home. But that's a safe zone, right? They're saying what they think will probably be best for them. But then you kind of like me as a woman that tries to pay attention. I'm gonna look at your life, the way you move, the way you speak, the way you operate, the places you frequent, and I'll be able to determine if that's really what you're about.
Mhm.
Is that are you even the type of guy that is gonna appreciate that? Is that the type of woman you're really looking for? And I think
Yeah.
a lot of times we just say the things we want to people to hear, and then you get the real story when you actually start dating, and then that's where a lot of times we ignore signs. We see things, we ignore it, we
so
you know
that's a
we make
that's a
we
good
make
so
exceptions.
so why are you bringing that up? That's a good segue. Is like okay, personally, what are some of your red flags that you'll see that you notice that like okay, yeah, he's not going to be the one. Yeah, is there any ones that really just stick out to you? Like, yeah, got to go, can't make the cut.
I don't really care for flashy. That's one thing. Like I don't care for really flashy stuff, um, shiny objects type of people. Um, and then I mean, if we go into like conversation and character, I mean, I'm just gonna listen to what it is that you're saying, and then watch how you move and how you operate. And when those
Mhm.
two things don't match, I can tell when a lot of times I can tell very, very quickly. I can tell very quickly when a guy is just saying something because he thinks it'll impress me. And that's
Yeah.
fine because we're intending to impress the other person, but do it naturally.
Yes.
Don't fabricate it.
Mm.
That's a good explanation because it's to piggyback off what Mark is saying and your aspect of pursuing or dating. How important is physical attraction compared to say emotional attraction?
Oh man, that is so much lower on the scale now.
Which
Mhm.
one?
Here's the thing. I would like to know that you take care of yourself.
Yes.
So if you take good care of yourself and you're a chunkier guy, there might be an explanation for it. I don't know. Um, I was previously one of those, you need to be because I'm tall, I'm a tall lady, I'm like 5'10". So usually, women that's my height will say they want 6 feet tall or 6'2" or 3 or 4 or higher. Um, I actually have dated like a guy that is much shorter than me.
Interesting.
Um, yeah,
His feet swinging off
Yeah.
the stool when he sit down or something.
it's no, 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 no. I'm just,
I'm not laughing, man. I'm not laughing.
I don't think that was very
I,
polite, Don.
I'm just trying to.
I don't think that was very polite, Don. I
I
don't.
didn't say. I didn't point it at anyone. I'm just saying.
Bring down, give
Well,
me a
I mean,
kiss.
I don't have a requirement.
Uh,
I don't have a requirement. I don't have a
okay.
requirement.
Hmm.
Um, I just want to know that you like take care of yourself though. Like I'd like if you gonna we're gonna be life mates, husband, wife, life partners, whatever. Like if we're gonna be that way, then I want you to be around for a long time.
Yes.
Long time.
Yes.
And I'll take care of you if it all goes bad. No problem. But you need to like groom yourself and try to,
Hmm.
eat some kind of fruits and vegetables sometimes and you know just I mean try.
Yes.
Like, and if you're not like there's some guys like there's a lot of people right now in the world that just don't even know what certain foods and the lack of exercise or the lack of activity is even doing. So like if you're a guy and you just don't know, like I have met guys that are like, you know what? I did not even realize that like I'll give them a fun fact about food, or like just how much physical activity you should be getting.
Mm.
Some guys work out really hard and don't realize you are damaging your joints and burning out your testosterone really, really early. So if you're willing to like learn and you want to actually be healthy, and you do have to want to be healthy, I'll say that much.
Yes.
You do have to want to be healthy, whatever that means to the both of us, and it's an agreed thing. I'm not gonna tell you got to be at the gym 5 days a week. I used to work out like every day at some point. Then there was a time frame where like now I think I'm sore and aching right now from just getting started again. Because I mean, but in the meantime, I still try to eat healthy, make healthy choices, drink plenty of water. You know what I mean? Like I try to do as much as I can. But I used to
Yes.
like ride my bike like 15, sometimes 20 miles before I even went to work in the morning.
Getting it in.
Like 5 miles,
Yeah.
wouldn't even 5 miles, I could do that sleepy. And people that know me personally know that. That's not so I'm not like,
Yes.
I'm not at all trying to impressed with that. I'm just saying that. But I can also deal with someone who has never rode a bike or maybe it's, just getting back to it and I can ride that 2 miles with you. And I mean, I'm not going to make you feel like, oh, that ain't nothing. No, we're going to ride it until you catch up. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great explanation of that.
So Don, do me a favor, please. There's a comment in the chat. I want to say
Yes.
something from Facebook. Can you help me?
Yes. It comes from Floyd here, and it says, "I love a natural, flowing conversation of substance, fun and intellectual, no monologues."
Oh, I promised myself I wasn't going to be that person that did this and I did it.
So
I'm
yes,
trying to see
Floyd
it, but I said I was going
sharing
to
his
avoid the comments,
perspective.
but it just says Facebook user.
Yeah. I have.
Right. So
Go ahead.
no, I was going to say yeah, we have a because it's attached to the Facebook group. It's a private it's a private group,
Oh,
and
okay.
so we're broadcasting simultaneously. Like so, if anybody on YouTube will come up, and Facebook will come up. We're on Instagram, but it won't come. It won't slide over into the comments like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
I just log in
Yeah.
on a separate window with Facebook so I can actually see the name attached to the user and provide that feedback.
Yeah.
And
This is why he's the great. He's why the great. Why he's such a great co-host. So I got so real. So Andrea,
Yes.
Quick question:
Okay.
dating men with kids. How is that? And is there an age requirement for the kids for you consider dating them?
Oh boy, I'm gonna get in trouble now. You want the truth or politically correct? I'm gonna give you the truth because there's no
With the
point in going
truth.
It's
any
the
other
real.
way.
It's the
Yeah,
real.
yeah, yeah.
What's the last?
So,
Give it. Give it.
so yeah. I'm sorry, I was looking at an email from my art Tom. Um, so I have no problem with a man having kids. Um, ages, you know, I do really believe it depends on the situation. So, like at my age, the I typically like to date older men. I We're talking like minimum 45.
Mm.
So they and I've met 40-year-olds and 45-year-olds that don't have kids. They don't have any at all. And I met one guy, he was 50 and he had a 3-year-old.
Wow.
Mm.
Mm.
The thing is, it's like when it just depends on where you are with like co-parenting and like where are you with that? Because sometimes there's a bunch of mess hiding in the bushes that you don't see. Because it's always perceived that the woman has drama, ex-husband or I don't really like the baby mama, baby daddy thing. But like, the father of your children or the mother of your children, there's just drama. While that exists, there's situations where that doesn't exist. So I think that you have to pay a little closer attention to someone who has smaller kids, um, especially if they're like 2 and under, and because like as a woman and as a mother myself, I I am not like most women where I would say, well, I ain't got to prove nothing to her. You darn well better prove something to me if my kids are gonna be with you and I'm not around. Now,
Mm.
I am supposed to have the relationship where I can respect that he wouldn't even allow the wrong type of woman around his kid, right?
Yes.
I'm supposed to be
Okay.
able to give him that respect, right? And not undermine that. But depending on what you're working with, you know, you might have to dig a little bit deeper to find out what is really going on. And then you have situations where a guy will use you to just to make that girl jealous, because they still got a thing going on. There are so many scenarios
Mm.
I could come up with. Or it could be a very healthy situation where they're just not together. Maybe they were never in a committed relationship, or whatever the case may be. I am not against a man having kids. I have kids. My kids are not little, but I have kids.
Mm.
So I'm not gonna disqualify someone for having kids.
Yes. It's the situation that goes with that.
Yeah, got to be realistic about
Yeah.
that.
And the reason I asked that was because a lot of times I won't say a lot of times we, not me, but sometimes women are in their 40s or a little bit older. Like a lot of times their kids are grown up or a higher age, and they don't want to start over again or reset to the 5 year old, 6 years old. Because what comes along is the time. One of the things that people look to doing is being empty nesters again, and that's why I asked that question.
Yeah, and I know that's why I said it's probably not the most popular answer because there is that aspect where it's like, hey, I'm done, raising my kids. But then it also depends on how you look at it. Like if there's two of us, raising kids ain't that hard, and if this is if I'm the woman dealing with the man, so if he's a full-time father, then I guess I just picked up a stepchild, which I've already had before,
Mm.
Um, or if that child still lives with mom, then that child's not going to be around as much. But I want to see that you are involved for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that. Like I'm gonna have grandkids one day, God willing. I hope so. So I'm not done with kids. I don't have any problem with kids at all, to be honest. It's just the relationship. that I've done it before. I got experience with it. I think it's a part of my purpose to deal with kids. So it is. I accept that as one of the hats that I wear. So that's fine with me. I don't care.
Hey, that's hey, I love it. More power to you. I think I just know me. If I was a female in my 40s, my kids are grown, it will be like a just me personally. I'm like, it was something I had to think about kind of hard. Is he worth me starting over?
But what do you say? What
But
do you mean by starting over?
or starting or pushing back the clock some, But I'm
You
also a
didn't
guy who
ask me if
doesn't have
I wanted
biological
to have
kids.
more kids. That would be a different question, right?
It's
No.
true. So true. So true. So
Yeah,
true.
you
He
Yeah,
talking you
definitely.
talking along the lines of like
I'm talking about stepkids, but yeah.
I am a very good assistant. But
It ain't happening here, in other words.
I don't know. Like I think it, kids are the future. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. Like it just it doesn't make that big of a difference. And plus I actually, I enjoy kids. Of course I want to be like free. Who doesn't want to have that freedom? But I just think
Yes.
that if this person that I met is like that kid is going to grow up eventually, right? And this
Hmm.
person is everything that I want and everything that matches up so well with me and all that good stuff. I'm not going to give that up because they have a kid. I'm not going to trade that for just because you have a child.
Hmm.
I like that. I like it.
It's that positivity there.
There we
That's
go.
the reality of it.
Yes, indeed.
Like,
You want to go back swimming in that muddy pool trying to find somebody that ain't
oh
got no
my
kids.
goodness, here we go. It's called a swamp, Don.
That's what it's
Okay.
called, a swamp. Yeah, all right. Get to know them gators in there, swamps.
Snakes.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a whole other. Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
you know, you know. One thing, we didn't ask. We didn't ask you about was your opinion, or have you done online dating? We know we
Yeah, I
talked about
have. I've,
technology
I've,
earlier.
I've. You know what? So because I'm so, I guess I've always been so hyper focused since I kind of got out of my marriage, and the first like maybe 5 or 6 years, like I was more focused. I had. Hmm, I'm not gonna go there right now, but I'm just gonna say that I was very, very focused on, rebuilding and trying to pave a new way and figure out what that road was gonna look like
Hmm.
because things were gonna be different. And so I have people that care about me a whole lot, and though they have the best intentions, they don't always have the right. They don't always give the right suggestions. They just want to see
Hmm.
me happy. They want to see me with someone. They think I have all the potential to be remarried and or be back in a new relationship or whatever. So I did have some coworkers encourage me like you should just try it and see what it's like. And so yeah, I did. Still didn't have any bad luck there. Still met
Wow.
really nice people. Yeah.
Was it christianbingles.com or something?
No, never went to christianmingle.com.
Okay.
It's the
Nope.
farmers one.
The
Single
farmers.
farmers get them fresh fruit.
Man, when I found out some of the different sites that they have, oh man. I don't know if some of these sites should be considered as dating sites though. More like just soliciting.
Well, that if you think about what we were talking about earlier about the social media and the activities that people put on social media, even
Uh-huh.
social media can be a form of trying to find
Heck
an
yeah.
attractive dating perspective, because you're just putting everything on there that you don't, and if someone's following you or even looking at a link can see, and you're like, okay, wow, that's
Am I allowed to address the comments?
oh yes, yes indeed,
Go
So
ahead.
I just saw one that said online dating is exhausting. It's a different world. 100%.
yes, yes. That was
100%.
Mr. Floyd Boykin Jr. Thank
You
you,
asked
sir.
me if I tried it. You didn't ask me if that was my method. I tried it. I was
See,
curious, I was because and also I wasn't getting.
oh, we lost connection there. Okay, there you go. You're
Oh,
back now.
sorry. Oh, it just froze the whole thing, I think.
I can see you now.
We can hear you.
I can see
We
you
see you.
clearly. Is it
Uh-oh.
froze on her end?
Yeah, I think so.
We made a time limit.
Oh, I'm sorry. It froze.
No.
No, no, no. No, my dad was calling me. It froze.
Okay, okay,
Um,
okay.
but he texted me already. I guess he's like, "Excuse me."
You ain't responding quick enough.
I'll call him back. But yeah, I don't know if you guys said anything while my side
No,
was frozen. I couldn't
we were
see anything.
listening. We were listening to your comments.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was the only other one that popped up, and I just agreed with it. That's it. Like it is exhausting. It was a method that I thought would be okay to explore, just because I'm like, I don't get out a whole lot. So this world is kind of the internet is where everyone is.
Where everyone wants to be at most of the time. I would do a question. You indicated you tried online dating. Have you attempted like speed dating in person, which is a different form of meeting other
No,
individuals?
I have a friend, a lady here I used to work at a hospital with, and she did tell me like we should try speed dating, but she ended up getting in a relationship at some point after that. But yeah, she offered that
Hmm.
like as an activity we could try. I've never tried it, but I would maybe for experimental purposes. I would just to see kind of like I see it on TV,
Some
right?
research.
Yeah,
Yeah.
research,
Yeah.
research.
That's what you're gonna call it, huh?
Oh boy,
Hey, but you
yes.
never know. You never know what you may find.
You never know, and
Yeah.
that's why I leave it wide open now. Like I just, what I could meet someone online, no problem.
Yeah.
They just gotta pass all the checks.
Okay.
Hmm. All right. So this is, we've been talking over an hour now. So you know, we appreciate you coming on. But it was there anything that you like to ask Don and myself? Any kind of question? Because reason I asked that is because we was going to do it tonight, but we're running kind of low on time. Don and I is going to introduce a new segment starting next time. We could be officially next time we go live. It's
Okay.
going to be called On the Spot, and we're going to ask anybody in the comments to ask Don and I a question, and we just going to go off the top of the dome and answer it. And we're just
Okay.
going to speak on it, and we're going to let you be a guinea pig. If you have a question for me or Don or us collectively, I should say, in about this relationship work and this and our thoughts, shoot at it.
Okay. Hmm. Well, you,
You know.
you guys aren't dating, right?
No, I'm not dating.
So,
I'm currently
Y'all off the
mm,
market.
off the
So,
market.
but it doesn't have to be about dating. It could be
oh,
about
okay.
relationships, in dating, relationship, anything that's in the dark realm. Positivity about like my baby always talk about. Even just the getting yourself ready to date, or getting
Right.
yourself ready to be in a relationship, and which is our important things.
Okay. So, okay.
You
So,
know.
what's your perspective on dating? Like, let's just say you were single. How would you approach it right now?
Mm. You want to go first? Then let me shoot at it first.
I'll take a stab at that. I would say I would go back to the old method of meeting individuals, which is organically. I think I got caught up with the pandemic and tried all these different online dating apps and going about almost speed dating method of attempting to meet individuals. And it did get kind of tiresome and weeding through the waters as we indicate. But I would go back to the old way, which I think it was the best way, and I think I found the most success is going to meet people at grocery stores, uh, going to local events where people of collective mind. Therefore, there's going to be some type of attraction when you're speaking with someone, and just being intellectually engaged in a conversation. To me, is some of the things I would probably consider.
Yeah, I like that, Don. Um, Me personally, I would go about things a little bit smarter. Um, I wouldn't. I would be more so places. I would like. I would frequent places that I like to be. Me and I'll look for something, and I'll be open to find somebody organically places I like to be because if they're there, we probably have something in common. Um, Also, with some, also dating smarter, as in first dates. This is something I learned in this past several years about. Don't try to be Mr. Flashy or try to go above and beyond on a first date. You can learn a lot from a person. Like they say, the big I won't say big thing. Hey, I'd like to know you a little better. Can we go for a cup of coffee, tea, or hell, ice cream? If they ain't lactose intolerant, but learning to be smarter that way. That's I'll go about dating that. Damn clubs. I've been done with clubs. You know, and just and walk and be more authentically myself active as I walk into a room. Making sure you can know who I am just by my presence. Not before you even talk to me, I would be able to show you who I am, and you can see who I am just by me walking in that room. That's how I'll go about dating. If I, well, not if, because I ain't never going back to it. I am, I am set with my life partner, and I'm.
See, that's the
So
place.
yeah,
That's where I'm trying to get to. But I totally agree, and that's why I gave the examples about like the grocery store, the gym, places that I would normally frequent. And then when I'm in, when I have more free time, where I'm not like working or like nurturing the places that I would like to frequent. Because there's spaces I'd like to be in that I'm not in right now because of the time factor.
Hmm.
So I do think timing plays a role. Like we didn't dive really, really deep as far as
Hmm.
like dating. We kind of just went with the more general public type of. It wasn't really too personal, so we didn't get to
Yeah.
go into the character, the values. I think family is important. I think creating that structure is very important.
Yes, we had
So
a list more of questions, but we were attempting to keep it within a perspective time limit and
okay,
didn't want to take too much of your time because that's definitely a 2 3 hour conversation you can have with someone
easy.
and explaining, getting those opinions and those thoughts and ideas and
I wish
seeing
you would have
their
asked me some
perspective.
of those questions. I would have, I would have been okay
Okay,
with that.
shoot.
Maybe.
Okay,
Okay,
let's talk about it then.
let's hit one two
So
here since we
yeah,
That
tuning the
escalated quickly.
discussion here. Here we go.
yeah.
That escalated quickly.
So ain't it?
All right, well, let's do it
We,
then.
yeah. Hold on. We got one comment real quick. Floyd says no clubs for
Ooh, I
me.
like that
Poetry and
one.
jazz venues.
Yes, sir. There
Yeah,
we go.
I like
museums
that.
and art
Art
galleries is a
galleries and
cultural
cultural
events.
events. This is
Now
where people.
that's one of my new travel desires when I go somewhere. I want to visit the like the natural history,
Yes.
museums in different places. Like there's some spots in New Orleans I want to, there's a lot of history there.
Yes.
So there's like different different museums. Like, and when you bring that up on a date, it's like museum. All right, well, maybe we're not the
Mm.
right one. Like, what would you prefer to do? This is one that I get
No,
all the time. Let's have a drink. Let's go out and have a drink.
Oh yeah, enjoy some good music at
That I'm okay with. I like live music, so that's all good. Let's go have some wine, some whatever. That's fine. But that's not that's not my preferred way to
mm.
date. That's more
Okay.
like
I mean,
when if
that's
you both. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
good. No, no, no. I'm listening to you. Go ahead. We're
Now
saying the same thing. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, if we can have a glass of wine at home, like once we've already gotten established and comfortable, and that's how we kind of unwind or whatever, that's fine. But like when you're getting to know someone, I don't know. I just don't think it's a great idea to be getting too toasty.
you definitely gotta have a limitation because I've been on situations or dates and someone have that second drink and the real personality comes out and you're like, oh man, can I get that check? It's time to get out of here. So you
Yeah,
definitely want to keep that perspective in mind. Just ensuring that they're not putting on their representative, with that first drink, and next thing you
best
know, they
behavior. We're always on there, like on that job interview behavior.
yeah, yeah.
Right. So how can you tell when somebody's not is on their best behavior or when they actually being who they are for real for real?
Hmm. Sometimes you don't see it right away. People, do a lot of dress rehearsals before they meet. They've had a lot of practice and they have perfected the craft time and time after being exposed, right? So some people
Mm,
get better at it.
mm,
But if it's a keen thing. Like you just pay very close attention. And I don't mean being like hypersensitive to everything they say. And if it doesn't match up, I do make room for the fact that people can sometimes just be a little nervous. Like I have, met people that were enamored and it's like, oh my God, let me not trip over that crack on the floor. I don't want to move too fast. And that sometimes I'm not gonna say that you're not being really who you are. Sometimes, you go on a job interview for a job you really, really want and you're a little nervous, you have a little
mm-hmm.
bit of stage
Mm-hmm.
fright. So I'm okay with that. But I can tell, like you can just it's something that I can't really if you want an example, like a person who says that they're not flashy, right? Or I'm not a materialistic person. But then, you say, which restaurant do you want to go to? Oh, I'm cool with let me Texas Road. Oh no, no. Let me go with the famous one that's on the internet now. I want Cheesecake Factory.
Hell
I
yeah.
want Cheesecake Factory, right?
Flashy.
Nah, and then the response is, well, you sure you don't want to go to like, you know, Mastros or something? You don't want to go like to, you don't want to go to the Ocean Club or whatever. Okay. But then I'm looking at your life for real. Like what I've already observed about you. It doesn't match up.
mm,
You don't frequent these places. You think you're gonna impress me.
mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna waste your money and I'm probably not gonna like you anyway. So
Mm,
I would rather you not waste that kind of money. I think those kind of dates sometimes should be earned. Now, I say earned in the case where this is not something that you just do. Like I have definitely dated where I've been to Mastro's, been to upscale restaurants, seen really high tickets where I'm like, but I know that this person actually, this is just their taste. It's not like you're
mm-hmm.
just trying to impress me. And I
Mm-hmm.
already know this about your life. I know this is something that you do. But then it tells me so many things like how do you spend money? What are you willing to do to save face? Are you willing to just show up and really just be who you are for the sake of saving face? That could be your rent money. I'm telling you, some of those tabs I've seen,
Mm.
that's your mortgage right there. And one
Wow.
night when you include drinks, these places are a la carte, You in order to tomahawk 135, 150 bucks, whatever, like you just doing
Yeah.
too much. Occasional, like, taking someone out for their birthday or whatever, however you want to do that is fine. But like, I can see a very clear difference. Why do you even have to do all of that? And that's not even really how you live. You're willing to risk it all for an image.
Attempting to impress.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. Something
Yeah.
like that. Like then I'm just, or people will tell you I'm not really the kind, or I'm not really the type of guy to do. They'll give you a specific behavior, but then I'll see you behave in a way that's in the same family.
Hmm.
But I'm not gonna say it, but I'll notice it, and then
Hmm.
I might even say, I might even cleverly ask you a question and see how you respond to it. I think that's what dating is supposed to be about. It's a period of discovery. It's not just to
Yeah.
go out and just have fun. That's what people think. It's like, oh, let's just go have fun. No, I'm studying you. I want to know these things.
Yeah.
I really want to
Right.
know.
It really is a vetting process.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to see if we're compatible. I'm trying to see if we have things in line or we in the same direction. So yeah, you're right. So
But there is a
and I'm
certain finesse you have to have with that too, though. Like while you
like
don't want to be like asking them every question, because that used to be me. Like I exposed my vetting process bit in the past where I'm like, well, that
It
doesn't,
seemed like a police interview at some point.
it. You
You're
know
like, you
what?
ask
I'm
me all
not
these
gonna lie
questions.
to you. I'm gonna be 100% real. I did not know how to finesse that before.
Hmm.
I did not know how to do
mm,
that before. I had the tools. I had the keys. I have like I said, I have a person I would consider a mentor. I was
Hmm.
going to invite him on, but I know he's not really looking forward to being all on the internet. But he's much older than me. He's my uncle. And so he's taught me a lot about emotionalism, right? Like
Hmm.
I am an emotional
ooh
being, but once you establish that part of your character, you have to learn how to gauge it, how to control it, how to manipulate it when it's necessary. You just got to learn how to be able to do that. And that's why it's important to be with someone who really, really accepts you for every part of who you are, because they got to be very tolerant in those
Yeah.
times where you're not, sunshine and rainbows and, you're not candy canes and lollipops. Sometimes you might be blue cheese. Just saying.
So let me ask you then: if a guy said, let me take you out on a date, how cheap is too cheap? Would you like go to Applebee's versus Cheesecake Factory?
A date for me could be free.
Mm, okay, yeah, there we go. Discuss.
yeah.
Well, I'm saying that like, I could, because like where I live here in Arizona, I have actually been asked to go and just, like take a walk by Tempe Town Lake. It's right near a training stadium here
Hmm.
for, I believe, the Cubs. Like, just kind of walk
Yes.
over there. Um, I've had dates that started out free and then they end up spending money later. You get what I
Hmm.
mean? Like after they get
Yes,
to know you, I think that's really smart.
indeed it
Do I
is.
want to spend time and money with you beyond this first conversation? Like I don't.
It,
It's
it's a real
like
thing.
I will learn what I need to know about you. Just really, I need to be focused anyway. I
Mm.
don't really want to have to be on my best behavior at this 5-star restaurant and have great table etiquette and make sure I use the shrimp fork
Your
and not
back
the
is
salad
straight.
fork.
Yeah,
And
yeah, all that
like, I don't
stuff.
necessarily, that's something that we reward ourselves with when, maybe later on. I'm not saying I
Hmm.
won't take that up front, but a lot of ladies really think that that means something. They think the more money you spend on a date, that means you adore them or appreciate them more. No, I've been
Mm.
on those dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all hear
Does
that,
not
ladies out
So
guarantee you
there?
anything.
right, and that's starting to become more and more of a popular thing now, and I'm glad. People are realizing that initial dates don't have to cost your arm and leg. You're not always you don't have to impress with money and show. You know, I wish I learned that earlier in life.
A lot of men
It
are.
might, yeah, so the initial conversation, and I'm also learning that the woman who accepts that that free day of just walking in the park, or that low budget thing of just having some coffee or ice cream, and how they accept that offer. It shows about a lot about them as well. What are they looking for? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to listen to? Are they trying to interview me as I'm trying to interview them? Well, strategically, of course. And no, and as for your mentor, he sounds like your uncle sounds like a smart guy.
Oh man, taught me everything. Taught me about everything that I know right now about this whole thing, like about this whole subject. Like
Mm-hmm.
just, I didn't have it all the way wrong anyway, because I always knew I wanted to be a wife and a mother from, like, I'm talking about young. I was married by like 20 or something. I was young
Mm-hmm.
when I got married. So I always knew that part. And I did grow up seeing a structure, mom, dad. I knew what, we had our family structure about what the roles were. Um, Dad was definitely alpha, is alpha, like, so I got to see that part. But there is like a protecting, providing source that comes along with that. And it's not just for the kids, it's for, you know, mom. She didn't really have to, like he used to pride himself on, your mom is never going to have to go ask her father for anything, things like that. And so that's kind of like things that I grew up seeing. But my mom was also, she also was a modern, working, driving woman. Whereas I got I got aunts that had like long marriages. They were just as happy not being the one that went to work and not being the one that drives. And their
Mm-hmm.
husbands were, so I got to see that. And then I grew up, seeing lots of mother and father relationships, like family settings. I saw a lot of traditional nuclear family settings. I saw the opposite of that as well, but the structure like that I grew up under was everybody's mom was your mom too on that block. And if they see you
Mm-hmm.
doing something you're not supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
they telling
You get
on you
told
right
on.
in your
Yes.
face.
You can get told on.
Mm,
Right in your face.
I get up. Yeah.
Yeah.
mm.
So I
Oh yeah.
Back
mean,
in those days.
and I got a lot of like I got what I got from my dad and watching him and my mom, and then my uncle, like just having such a high respect for women and teaching me so much about, it's crazy because he actually helped to prepare me for, dating and
The
relationships and
riffraff.
things like that. Yeah, he kind of but in a nurturing, objective and fair way. He's not like, all these men, they're just trying to use you. And no, he's, very rational. It's all about values and structure and family. And he always say we need to get back to family, and which we do. Um, so yeah, he taught me a lot though. Taught me a lot about my own emotions and how, you know, you are who you are, but there is a certain level of control that you can have once you are very self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I know that a person that I'm going to be with has to be okay with that. And the more that a person, I find that the more a person you deal with accepts who you are, the more comfortable you are, and the more reluctant you are. Let's just say you're an emotional woman who has emotional outbursts. You're probably, once that person shows you that tender love and care, you tend to want to react to them in a way that would, be hurtful or um disrespectful or what, even though it's your own feelings. Like it's how you usually react. I found myself having restraint when I'm dealing with the person who, even though I'm just being me, but I'm realizing how this person really loves me and is very tolerant of me. So I need to, but you have to have a certain awareness and a certain level of maturity to even do that. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't, then it's gonna be kind of hard to do that. I've been told, like, you're a little rough around the edges. But that's what life, I mean, I've been told that, like, in certain, because, in life you gotta kind of be like, you gotta be a little bit stronger. And in my situation, because like I was divorced and single for a lot of years. So,
Mm-hmm.
I had to venture through life like that.
You know.
I work around
So
nothing but men now. I was in a classroom full of men when I met
so
Marcus.
yeah, yeah. I mean, But some men are not as manly as they think they are, though. Um, we'll put that out there. But so let me ask you this thing: you work in a male-dominated field,
Yeah.
so you work. Do you think that ever is going to affect your relationship, or how would you balance that? How would you go about balancing that? Because can you turn that off? Because being in a male-dominated field, a lot of times you have to give a certain strength off, or a certain, I won't say masculinity, but you have to be have a strong, confident, and working and walking a certain manner. Do you turn it off when you go home, or do you like say, no, this is who I am, and I'm going to keep it? This is just a question to you.
Right, right, right. So well, you know exactly what job I do, and my job is more so. My job is geared more toward project management, though. I don't necessarily have to be aggressive because I am managing projects and equipment. I am not having to. I mean, I deal with like vendors and different. We have outside sources that we work with, but I I don't. I'm around men, and I work with men, but luckily for me, my team is like when I come around and we all work together, like I'll offer to go and organize their office and they come lift heavy things for me. So,
Mm.
like when I'm around my team, I don't know, it's just I don't ever feel like I have to be like extra aggressive or masculine. They just don't we all get in, we like say for instance, we all get into one vehicle to go to either lunch or to go to a project.
Mhm.
They're always just
Okay.
gonna open that front door for me. I'm never sitting in the back seat.
The
That's just
respect
how they
factor.
are. If I'm
Okay.
if I'm transporting something that's too heavy or something like that, if they're there, they're gonna load my before I even look, they're loading my car up already. And sometimes I'm like, we just did a project maybe last Sunday or 2 Sundays ago, and I was like, y'all never let me do nothing. I was literally whining like, you never let me do anything. And so, but culturally they're different. They're not so they are kind of. I think it's just kind of like in their nature to be that way. So maybe if I had a different team of people who, and I don't mean like ethnicity. I'm just saying culturally, like the way they move is just different.
Mhm.
I do think it's a certain respect factor. These guys, they kind of admire that I'm even taking on the job as a woman. They've, you know, even said that in so many words. So I don't, I don't think I have to be now. Okay, emotional, coming home saying I had a bad day, that's different. But having a job where because I am on track to potentially manage people,
Mhm.
which scares the heck out of me because I really don't want to do that. I like kind of where I'm at now, but you want to make more money. So I have to look at that as an option. And I don't think that that's a reason for me to go home and try to. No, that's supposed to be the comfort zone. I'm supposed to be able to put all that down and relax when I get home.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't need to come home and be like bossing you around. I mean, that just says a lot about that right
Who wear the
there. Like
pants?
that would say a lot about. Well, but see, I didn't always know that. Like there's another confliction that women have is that they think that it's like a badge of honor to be strong and independent and they think that it impresses men to show that they can do all of these things that you can do, or I can show you how strong I really am. And sometimes it's really a matter of them just trying to show you I'm smart too. Look at me. But they're
Mhm.
going about it all wrong.
Mm.
Right.
Mm.
I was that person where it was like, I'm not trying to control you because I don't want a man that I can just sling and throw around. But
Mhm.
like, and just say whatever to, and he doesn't even correct me. And I don't mean in an aggressive, argumentative way. I want you to be able to correct me. It's like I'm walking down the street with this big spot on my pants, and you're just not gonna tell me because you're afraid. We
Yeah.
don't need to be together. Cause like somebody
Give it
else
up.
is gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Be that
And
alpha.
it's gonna feel different, knowing that I've been walking with you this whole time, exposed like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that there are some. I used to be that. I have to be honest about stuff like that because I didn't just come out of a box like this. I had to learn a lot of things. And
Yeah.
so once you know better, you do better. So now that I know,
True.
like I've picked up things even from those dating situations. I'm not saying that all the dating situations that I had went wrong because of them. Sometimes I had to learn things about myself. That's why I said it's not really all bad because if a person tells you and love and respect, like you're that's not going to work for me. Okay, it
Mm-hmm.
might not be a bad thing, but if you tell me something that I realize is a flaw or something that might make it a little bit difficult for me to deal with other men because it's just a man thing, because I think there are some things that we can attach to men and women, and they are gender specific. Not the roles, not the things that you do, but just characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that men are more visual. The fact
Yeah.
that men, we talk about hypergamy and all of that stuff. Like those things are just natural, and you just kind of trade off as you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I believe in being flexible. Like, most women don't ever want to be with a man that they make more money than. You know, I don't care about that.
Mm.
You better be making something.
You gotta have a job.
Oh, we say you ain't gonna be coming in broke, huh?
You ain't gonna be coming in.
You ain't gonna have a key.
Because realistically, now you are completely and totally dependent on me. And then if for some reason we got to split, now I'm gonna feel bad about putting you out there because now I've taken responsibility for you.
Mm.
That's what women go wrong a lot. Like I always wonder, like where I have, and I'm not even. This is not a judging thing, and I'm knowing that some people that I know may see it and feel some kind of way. But hey, for the sake of the people, let's do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always wonder why I see like women have a pattern of dating, and it's like, why does the man always got to come and live with you? That's always been like a thing for me that I don't understand. Like now, if it's in a situation where it makes more sense, let's just say like me, I'm a homeowner. I meet a man, he's a homeowner. It makes more sense to live in my home and rent his or vice versa, whatever. That's different than when I meet you, you do not have a primary residence
Living
until
with
you move in with me.
living with his mom or something.
I don't know. Sometimes women don't even try to figure that out.
Mm.
There's no primary residence. It's like he shows up to pick you up and y'all go on dates, but he's
He has a
bringing
PO
his
box.
Yeah,
he's
P.O.
no
box.
he's bringing his spend the night bag to your house.
It's a paper sack.
He's
Don't
bringing
even
his
have
spend
a
the night bag to your
suitcase.
house. Yeah, he's bringing it to your house. And my thing is, I'm not saying you can't visit, but and that's probably another thing. I've never had men like spending the night at my house because I had kids growing up. I've never had that like
Yeah.
be a thing. Um, yeah, just I'm not saying I'm above that. I'm just saying it just never has worked out that way.
Yeah.
So
Okay, well, I hear where you're coming from, but so let's go back to the 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 homeless situation.
oh my God, he's
Now,
homeless.
are you pretty much saying he ain't got no place to stay?
Man, y'all listen, let me show you something. Y'all comments are showing me love and I appreciate that.
Yes.
I, t- I told
Yes.
you they real positive like that. They
He
ain't not
knows
here to
I was
bash you.
terrified. I was terrified. I was like, now we stood up because I'm a chatterbox. I'm a people person. So me and him, like I met him one time in class and I was the only female there. And he was telling me like, yep, you going straight to to my boss's job, right? And I was like, how you see that? He said, because I really don't think men, I remember you saying this, you probably don't remember. He said, I don't really think men will have a problem working under you as a manager. And I was like, really? Never thought of it that way because it's a
Mm.
male dominated industry. So for a man to say, I don't think men would mind working,
Mm-hmm.
with you and you being like, the person they report to.
Yeah.
Because I was in a classroom full of men and I had to work the room with them. all different,
right.
all different flavors.
So in my position, I always have to be, pretty much equal opportunity, and
Hmm.
I'm going to, if I recognize somebody, I'm going to give them that encouragement, let them know, because I did a lot of stuff they did, and I just wanted to say, hey, this is what they see you, this was going on, and I know what they're doing. I don't give you a heads up, but you had something positive. So as a not just a man, but a person, it's my position as a human being to promote you or uplift you or try to let you know what's great about you going forward. So
Hmm.
I do that to a lot. I do that to several students. Don't do to all of them. Let me put that straight. There's a few out there I'll do that to let them know, hey, you have what it takes. Just like you in this dating situation, and Floyd in the comments is saying he appreciates your perspective because you have what it takes to in our opinion. I don't know. I'm gonna say mine. 'Cause I don't know about Don's. That you have to succeed, to find a proper proper partner. We often say you attract people who you attract people who are like you, or you attract who you are, what you
Hmm.
mirror. If you are fucked up, you're gonna get fucked up. If you're positive,
Straight
you
like
tend to
that.
bring it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you tend to bring positivity toward you. The negativity pretty much try to stay away. And this is what we're trying to show, that hey, you've been doing the work.
She's prepared
You know,
herself.
preparing. And that's what they need. You're preparing them. You're doing the work, and you're getting ready. And so when that person presents themselves, it's like, yo, I'm here. That person did the work too. He's here. Hey, we here together. You know what I
That's
mean? And
true.
that's ultimately what we
That's
want.
true. That's true. Like, okay, so okay, now I have an interesting perspective on that, right? When you talk about
Okay.
meeting someone that is very similar to like you. So I would say, like, if I had, ideally, just so that I don't have to keep level setting and adjusting myself. If I meet a man, let's just say he's like white collar, Ivy League type of man, the circles that he runs in. You have a lot of women that are shooting for something like that. Or the annoying, not to me, but like to most women, the annoying, the high value man, right? The one who checks all the boxes, makes all the money, runs in all the right circles. I am too, I am a laid back suburban girl. I was raised in the suburbs. I like to live in the suburbs. I am not a big city girl. I am not gonna frequent. I'm not gonna want to be, pristine every single time I walk out of the door. I got to make sure my collar is the right way and no hairs. And come on now, this is wild. Okay, this is enough to try. And if you notice, you ever go when you go back and look at this, it gets bigger as it dries. It's probably bigger than it was when I started. Right? Just being honest, it does that. It does that. And I came prepared. I'm about to clip it back in a minute. Because I just watched it and it gets like, Lion King, Tina Turner big. But
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna, like, I'm not gonna knock a man that has that kind of lifestyle, right? Because that's where he's at. He's done what he had to do to get there. That's the kind of lifestyle he prefers. He might have grown up that way. And
Hmm.
I just think that for me, that wouldn't work. It wouldn't work because I'm that I don't want to be judged by all the other soccer moms because I don't come from wealth. And I grew up pretty okay. I didn't grow up like in need or struggling or anything.
Hmm.
As a matter of fact, my dad treated us like, we got all kinds of we got a lot of the things that people want as far as like material stuff. I wasn't one of the people that struggled, right? So, but I also didn't grow up with the Ivy League, Beverly Hills type of. I
Hmm.
didn't grow up like that either. So I would be okay with the man who has made it to a certain status, But it's kind of similar to what I said someone described me as, a little rough around the edges. I need that down to earth element. You can be very wealthy and all of that, but don't ever let that go to your head to the
Yeah.
point where you can't be down to earth and you just look at,
Yeah.
that type of
Nose
thing. So
turned
for
up.
me, I don't want that really stiff, and I mean that with not a lot of judgment. I'm just saying that when I say stiff, it's because you're very rigid and they don't really bend. Versus somebody else who might say, okay, I've made it, I got it, got a lot of money, doing it now. Now when I see somebody that's going through something I went through before, that ain't my life no more, so I don't have to care. I'm not cool with that.
Yeah.
You don't have to give them your life savings or anything at all, even if it's just an encouraging word,
Mm-hmm.
uplifting. You can help people for free. I do it all the
Mm-hmm.
time, and I get rejected for that sometimes. Sometimes people just don't want to hear that. It's like, yeah, give me some money though, like fix my problem. So I like, men that can like learn through, grow through certain aspects of life and still have some humility. I like humility.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Being
like
able to
so
relate to the people around you and not look down upon them.
that's why I don't have like an income requirement. I do have a value requirement though. I have that.
Oh,
Value can be, yeah, I have a
Yeah, you
value
do have to have a
requirement.
value. It's not based on a dollar amount. It's just the value of life, the
what
perspective.
are you contributing to our success? In relationship wise, I'm with you. You do. You can work at you. I can make $10,000, $20,000 less than you, but together we're making something way bigger and stronger.
I could make 80, you could make 50. Together we got 130. If it's solid, it's solid.
Yeah, value requirement.
Because
Brilliant
we supposed to
point.
be living within, like, this is my thing. If you as a man don't feel comfortable making, like, if you look at it as though I got more money, so I'm gonna spend, well, let's live within. Okay, let's do this. Let's chop my 80 down to 50 and split the difference on, like, I'm not saying I lose the money, but I'm saying if we're gonna base our living standard off of
Yes,
that, we can
there
base
you
our
go.
living standard off of a match.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get
Mm.
asked, like, sometimes by other women, like, what is it that you see? Like, what is the thing that you uh look for in a man? His retirement plan? What's that looking like? And I
But
don't
then
mean his
401k say,
401 or his, investments. I'm saying, what is your plan to retire? How does that look to you? Because we're getting older and we got more years, behind us than in front of us,
mm-hmm.
essentially. So
Heard that one a couple times before.
yeah, we do though. It's the truth. At this point, that's what it is. So, what do you plan on your future looking like? Because that's what we headed towards. I don't really care too much about what you just want to do right now. This is the building block time.
Yeah,
Because most of us got it wrong. We thought the 20s was the party time and laid back, chill. And no, that's your working years when your body
yeah.
is still
That's when
young.
Yeah. So, well, we ain't gonna hold you much longer. No, this is we on almost 2 hours. We can go, like I said, we can go three, and we can go.
very very
But
valuable
we have,
content.
like you said, but we have no, like my lady said, we have to be respectful of people's time.
Right.
No,
Well,
and
I set aside a little bit of time for it anyway because I didn't know, like, I didn't know if I was gonna be hit with questions. I didn't know if we were gonna respond to comments. I watch these kind of shows all the time. It's literally like all I do is like watch content creators most of the time
Mm-hmm.
anyway. So I know I watch streams that go for an hour or two or three. As long as the conversation was flowing, I'm cool with that. You're not disrespecting my time.
Yes.
But it's all up to you. I don't know what y'all time frame looks like, so I'm on your
yeah,
time. Yeah, so
yeah.
it's
Well,
yeah,
we can definitely come. We can definitely come revisit this, or we can come
sure.
revisit this with somebody else, like another subject. Not somebody else.
Yeah.
That's another subject.
Hmm.
Um, I'm really looking for. I really would like to have somebody of your age bracket as a male and hear their point of view and
Yeah.
bring them both on.
Okay.
One of our best, I think Don may agree with me. One of our best episodes was when we had Gen X versus Gen Z with
Woo.
Floyd, who's on here right now in
Yes.
in Dallas. We had it. Gen Z and the Gen X and views on dating, which was a great episode.
Who was the
If you
Gen
ever,
X?
Gen X is the guy Floyd who's showing all the love in the comments,
I
being
can't tell
respectful.
who's who because it just says Facebook user.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, just trust my word. It's good sometimes.
It-
Okay. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, I'm not gonna respond to any like negativity anyway, because I ain't got time
yeah,
for that. I mean,
right.
people gonna have
Good.
their opinions, but loving the big hair, oh man. See, talk about accepting a person for who they are, because this mess is about to get pulled up in a minute.
Hey, do what you got to do. Do what's comfortable. This is where the be real come in at.
he said it's
You know.
100% flawed commenting. He's putting his
See,
name
now
out
that's
there.
how I get to know who's who. That is how I get to know who is who.
Yeah.
Okay.
Attach a
Yeah.
name to it.
You done block people out. Y'all ain't right with that.
Hey, we ain't paid for that feature. We on a budget.
Oh, okay. That's keeping it all the way real. I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. I got
We
you.
spit it at that Cheesecake Factory, so you know.
Yeah.
I'm saying I still don't understand that. The whole if it takes
uh,
I thought Cheesecake Factory was a good thing. Like
I did too. I thought I was like,
ain't good
shoot. The
enough. So,
I've
Oreo
only
cookie is
been I've
kicking.
only been twice.
mhm.
I've only been twice. And one time I went with a friend that I dated before. And here's the crazy part. Interesting fact. Every single person that I've dated before, I could still speak to, talk, no bad, nothing.
Yeah,
So I could
that's
still
good.
even speak to them. And like, I'm not saying that I do that, but I had a friend that I dated and we were hanging out just, I don't know where we were just, I don't know where we were walking around somewhere. We just happened to meet up randomly and was like, go to Cheesecake Factory and get some dessert. Just went there to get some dessert. Didn't go
Mm,
there to eat or
yeah,
nothing. It was random. I don't see
Yeah.
nothing wrong with
Hey,
Cheesecake
nothing
Factory.
wrong with that at all.
no, hey, I'm a fan of Cheesecake Factory. I ain't gonna lie. And this is not paid promotion.
He said this is
Cheesecake Factory, you hear that? Uh,
Yeah.
send us a
I,
check.
like give me the Oreo. I mean, you gotta send me a check. Just send me that cheesecake with the Oreo crust. I'm
Oh,
cheap.
that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, huh?
So do
So
you guys usually host together all the time, or is
yeah,
it
90% of the time on Wednesdays is
okay?
Don and I. On Tuesday or every other Tuesday is Kia and Shamika. That
So
you
y'all
should really
share a page. So you share a platform.
hmm
Okay,
Yes.
now.
not
Don
you
also
two. I
has his
mean
own.
you and your wife. You share a platform.
All right. So let me break it down real quick. Data from the Real was founded by my lady Kia and myself,
Okay.
and it's just, it's out. It's an open forum,
Okay.
promoting positivity, especially in Black and dating and relationships and everything in that nature. We just want to be open. We're not experts. We're just people trying to have a open dialogue.
Okay.
And Don has graciously accepted the invitation and came on to be a co-host with me on the Wednesdays. Uh, and on Tuesdays, every other Tuesday, Kia and Shamika does the another portion where they talk more about the healing aspect, getting yourself spiritually, emotionally ready for dating, and things of that nature. Which, because like you've been saying, you have to do the work.
Yeah,
If you don't do
man.
the
It
work,
took me years. I'm not even gonna sit up here and act like it was yesterday. It took me a long time. So yeah.
right. So and that's what it is. And Don, and I'm gonna toot his horn real quick. Don is a accomplished poet and author. So he's he came and is accepted the offer already established.
Mhm.
You know, written several books, and he kills it on the poetry. So he
No,
just
that's nice.
Thanks.
he just doing it on the strength of being like a cool dude.
Oh wow.
So
And we
Looks
have a
like I've been
comment
invited to
from
something
Mr.
else.
Floyd Bunkin Jr., and
Yeah.
he is stating he would love to have you as a guest on his podcast as well. It's called the Exchange Podcast, where they talk about healthy relationships. So Floyd is
Heck
opening
yeah.
that door. Um, to
He's
get
been so
your
nice to me.
message out.
There's no reason why I would not. Is this a YouTube or where is it? Where is this?
This is coming from Facebook.
So yeah, he also his exchange is on actually on Spotify. I know definitely he's on Spotify. So
Oh,
he's
so
on
it's like
several.
on the actual app, the podcast app that I think we have on iPhones. Maybe I don't know. I do
Oh,
have
he
a
about to he.
podcast app. So
He says Apple and Spotify.
yeah, Apple. That's okay. I will look for that. For
So
sure.
I want.
We broke the ice tonight. I was terrified of being online, especially live.
You can come
Yeah,
back to social media now. It's not that.
yeah.
Look, right. It's the safe place again.
Yes. It says audio
I,
only, so no video
Oh,
from his
that's
suspect.
even better.
So you can have your hair pinned up, you can have your robe on, everything's on it.
and I was
I
sitting.
mean, I like to be professional anyway if I can. For the most part, this ain't like
Yeah.
I'm not like in business attire, but I'm
You let
gonna
your hair
speak
down
a
a little bit.
message.
Yeah.
If I'm
There
gonna
you go.
speak a
Not,
message, well, no, it really needed to be washed anyway. If I can be
Okay.
honest, so I just washed it, but now it's starting to do its thing. So yeah,
yeah. Let the ethnicity come on out.
I'm about to listen. I'm about to pull this back. I just wanted it to dry, and I tried a new hair product just so I can see if it will tame it. But obviously, this is just not. It's just not tameable. It's
Hey,
just
you
impossible, man.
you outside of my realm.
I,
And that, and on
only
that
opposite
note,
sides of the spectrum. Gotcha.
yeah. On that note, we about to get out of here.
Okay.
I want everybody to just thank our guests. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be back because we like her. Don, you want her back?
Yes. Yes, I do. She has a great perspective and one is most valuable, most
Oh, thank
appreciated.
you.
Yes,
I
sure.
appreciate that. I
Mhm.
do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
So,
appreciate.
and with that being said, I, I want to say we out. We want to think. You want to say anything else, John?
Um, I do have a positivity quote I wanted to read.
Oh,
I like to
Okay.
there we
read.
go. That's why he did. That's why they co-hosted the Century. Go ahead.
I like to read books of positivity, books on success, books about poetry. So this one here says, "Success is getting what you want when happiness is wanting what you get." So just marinate on that a little bit and just think about that.
Can I go a little ratchet and hood?
Sure.
Period.
Period. With the T. With the
With the
T.
T.
With the
With the
T.
T.
Period.
With the T. Exactly. No, I love that. Kind of sums it up right there.
Yeah. There you
That
go.
was very good. I gotta respond to somebody. I don't know. Is this Floyd again? Because I don't know. Y'all not letting me
Yeah.
know.
Yes, Floyd is asking, "Are you on social media?" And I
Oh
think he
no,
made a he
I'm
made a miss that part in the beginning. You're not on social
Yeah.
yeah.
media. You can catch it on Snapchat where the videos disappear in 24 hours.
Uh
Yeah. So
well, I
what I can
mean, there's
what
TikTok. I have TikTok, but I just like never ever post it. And I don't really open it too much unless I get a message. But
Yeah,
if you
so
looking for like contact information so we can set up a
I
I'd
could
like
forward
to
him.
be a guest.
I could forward him. I could forward him your email,
Okay, that works.
and that way y'all can go from there.
I gave you my personal, not my work. You got access to my work email too, but I
But
think it was just
yeah,
personal.
I got what I said was your personal email, so I'll forward
Okay.
him your personal email,
Okay.
and we'll let you guys work it from there.
I'm gonna be
there
a
you go.
guest as much as I can. I've been told multiple times to start a podcast or something or another. I don't think I have the I'm not brave enough. So keep doing what you're doing. I am good with being a guest.
All
Thanks
right.
for coming
So
on and sharing your time with us. It's
No
most
problem.
appreciated. You're welcome.
all right, we're out.
All
Well,
right.
later.
All right.